Welcome to Rope Dropping Knowledge, where we guide you through the magic of Disney.
We just got home, and not from Disney.
I know.
We had a whole weekend with cousins, so
In San Diego.
in San Diego, we actually
We had a staycation.
staycation, yeah, and that's good to have a staycation. I think.
Yeah.
Even though we had 4 cousins visit us, and then one who goes to UCSD, it was still pretty cool to go to a hotel and stay with them. We didn't stay in our own place, even though it's our city. So I think it's healthy. It's fun. It's like when you used to have sleepovers, but adult.
And we had 2 hotels. We don't want to think we're
not with 2
the
rooms.
college days where people sardined into one room.
Wow.
No, we had a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, we're
Two
not
two-bedroom
cool enough
hotels.
to do that. Yeah. No, we got residents in. People know how we do.
Yeah.
We have family get-togethers. I started that during the pandemic because when people couldn't really go to other people's
Yeah.
houses and stuff, and then some people didn't want to do this and cross-contaminate, and some were vaxxed and some weren't. Some liked masks, some didn't. So when I had anything to celebrate, I would just get a residence in from Marriott because we're Marriott people.
Yeah, comes
Bon
with a full
voyeurs.
kitchen.
Yeah, it comes with the kitchen, and you invite the double room Marriotts.
Hmm
10 people or less is cool.
Yeah.
For a get together. Not to sleep all 10 people sleeping over, but just
Right.
to have a get together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Big living room, kitchen.
Yeah, because you don't trust Airbnbs.
It's not
Even
that I
though
don't trust
Marriott
them,
offers them, but you don't want to deal with the owners.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with them. I like dealing with corporations.
Yeah.
I don't like dealing with people. It's like, you guys didn't do the dishes. You guys didn't do the. It's like, well, if I wanted to do housework or anything, I would stay home. I'd have people come to my house.
Yeah,
you know?
I think our cousins forgot about that they weren't at an Airbnb
Yeah.
because they were like, "Oh, I don't want to do another dish." I'm like, "You
Why
don't
are you
have
doing
to."
dishes?
It's like he's like, "Oh yeah, that's right," and so he went ahead and took another dish out to use it.
Yeah.
So he's
The whole
like,
reason to pay to not stay in your home is to not
not
do home
anything.
stuff.
Yeah,
In my opinion, but whatever. But
that's where we stayed, and we
Yeah.
did all the San Diego touristy spots because 2 of our cousins are moving to Idaho.
yeah, they're Boise bound.
They're Boise bound, and so we wanted to do all the touristy stuff, which was like a nightmare for me because I hate parking. I hate it when people are out when I'm out. So we did it on a Saturday, Balboa Park
hmm
on a Saturday
Yeah, it's crazy.
during peak time, which is noon.
hmm
So
And I probably I guess I'm the type that's, since I've been in San Diego since I was 15, I'm kind of like, I don't get the excitement other people have
yeah,
about coming to San Diego and
Right.
seeing things. It's like, wow, Balboa is this crazy thing.
yeah,
And I also grew up with parents who are very much super outdoorsy. Like, we didn't have a lot of money, but
traveling, but
we'd travel
traveling
by
in a
car.
van or something. Yeah,
Dude, my stepdad he had a Ford pickup truck,
yeah,
and then he took rebarb, steel rebarb, and put it and made it into a camper
yeah.
with plywood.
Kind of like my uncles, who are my uncle and aunt, my French uncle, who's
Yeah.
just hippie-ish and
So
just,
we've driven across when I was a kid. I drove across the country like 3 or 4 times. We spent camping in the Smoky Mountains, driving through the Rockies, go to the Grand Canyon, drive up, so all that stuff that people I think a lot of millennials in their 30s are just seeing for the first time.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to go bikepacking.
yeah. There's
I
all
want
these
to do this.
millennials who live in a van now.
Yeah, all the van life people. To me, it's like, okay, I did
Why
that.
don't you want a hot shower every day?
I grew up. I appreciate it, but now I'm like, I want to get a job so I can stay in hotels.
Yeah.
And then the generation beneath me is like, We want to
Let's
get a
rough
job.
it out.
We want to get a job so we could get a nice van, so we
Yeah.
could travel and do all
So we
this.
can
so
rough
we can
it
stay
out
outside
in the whatever, in the wilderness.
Because they bike down here from Orange County.
Oh yeah, that's the big thing. Is
Mm.
congrats to them. They biked from Orange County to San Diego, but they didn't stop where we were supposed to meet. They kept going all the way to the end of San Diego.
The Point Loma.
So what
Yeah.
what did they say? How many miles?
100 miles.
100 miles.
Yeah, that was the first time they did 100 miles.
So and then their wives picked them up and then took them to the hotel.
Yeah.
They didn't have to bike from
Yeah.
that point to back to the hotel.
Yeah. So congratulations to Alex and
But
Dustin who
Yeah.
made that bike journey. So
Yeah.
like to me it was like I used to, again, it's a difference in generations. I used to bike because I had no money. They have like, $1,000, like their bikes are probably like $5-6 grand
Yeah.
each.
Yeah.
And
Like-
they work, they went to college and then bought bikes. To me, that was like, that's opposite of my mentality. I was like, okay. But
But if that's, we
they're-
don't get it, but that's cool.
it's healthy.
It's like going camping, right? Like, why?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why don't you pay for a hotel or a cabin? No,
Yeah.
that's not how it works. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Alex worked at Google to become homeless. I was like, yeah, you do you, man. No, I honestly respect that. It's just different lifestyles, and their lifestyle is definitely healthier than mine. They definitely
Yeah.
exercise more, and they definitely get outdoors more. So it's probably good spiritually and physically,
Yeah.
obviously. Um,
After all that biking, they still walked
They
to
still walked up-
Balboa Park,
yeah.
around Balboa Park and museum.
mm,
So
yeah.
it's almost like nothing happened.
Yeah, we'll do our walking at Disney.
Yeah. We're already like, oh, my ankle. I'm already like, oh, my heel hurts. And I didn't bike.
Our cousins are so superior to us physically.
But yeah, so we did Balboa Park. We went to the Museum of Natural History,
hmm
and
Yeah, they picked one museum because I told them because most museums are pretty small.
yeah,
But they chose one of the bigger ones, so that
So,
one you
took
can't
all
spend
day.
hours.
Yeah.
yeah,
not all day, but like
like 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah,
So we did all that. That was an interesting museum.
it's pretty cool. As a matter of fact, I don't want to discourage people. I always complain. I'm like the old man. Like, why is there so much traffic coming to San Diego? Why everyone's coming here? Like, get off my lawn. I actually do encourage people to come to San Diego. It is like for a big city, it is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like it is not like LA. It is not like New York or Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, not that those places are bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that there's really not too many bad areas in. Like you're not gonna make like a wrong turn and get robbed in San
Right,
Diego.
right.
Typically, there's some homeless out there, but even they're nice.
Yeah, it's like,
pretty
hey, what's
chill,
up? Yeah, they're cool.
in downtown, but the gas lamp area is pretty lit up. Everything's mostly on the water. All the places, the tourist destinations are on the water, like going all the way up the coast. Balboa Park is huge and it's pretty safe. Definitely, absolutely safe in the daytime, even nighttime. Like there's really not much crime reported. It's super heavily. Part of
Diverse.
it's super diverse. You
Mhm.
see all kinds of like weird stuff set up there. I'm not even gonna go into it, but but it's some funny. I got some pictures that we'll probably put up on our personal sites. But yeah,
But
come
even
to
the
San
neighborhoods
Diego.
around there's Hillcrest, North Park, and all
Yeah.
that are super diverse.
You know what the thing is that it's very diverse, but it's not diverse economically. A lot of people have money. It's very
Yeah,
and that's what unfortunately makes it really nice.
yeah, and expensive.
Expensive, yeah. But
So yeah,
but if you want to go to a park and walk around all day, you could spend 2 days in Balboa Park.
Yeah.
And that's where San Diego Zoo is too. So
yeah. So it's not just a park. It's called Balboa Park, but it's really like there's museums in there. There's restaurants. There's
yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Street
And it's
performers.
street performers.
And it has private streets within the park. So once you actually get in the park, there's really no driving.
Yeah,
In the park proper.
Mhm.
So yeah, really nice place. Super crowded on the weekends, but you can get a family pass. Even if you're visiting San Diego for a week, a family pass is kind of worth it.
Yeah.
because you could take your whole family, every day for like $150. You
Yeah.
know, it's pretty cool.
How many museums are in there, do you think?
I forget. There's at least 7.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then there's also the Starlight Amphitheater. There's the Old Globe. There's theaters, plays. There's
Oh,
all
yeah.
kinds
They
of
have
stuff.
plays there too,
Mhm.
musicals and stuff.
Musical.
Yeah.
So,
And
so
so,
come
yeah.
to San Diego. It's don't listen to
Just
me.
Uber everywhere.
Yeah,
Totally.
Uber.
Oh, so the other tourist thing that we did was go to Tacos El Gordo, which is
Yeah.
what San Diego is known for. There's one in Vegas now because Vegas has all the touristy things put in one spot.
Yeah.
But Tacos El Gordo is a famous taco place in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And so we went there. 3 of us had a mission to go there and bring back tacos and stuff. And Alex wanted to do that before he moved to Boise.
Mm.
Like, all right, I got to have real San Diego, Southern California, carne asada,
Yeah.
fries, and whatever tacos, whatever.
And people in LA think they have good Mexican food.
No, it can't be because, San
it's-
Diego's close to
I'm
the
sure
border.
they have some, but
yeah, it's good, but it's not.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's different than like when you went to, what was it? You went to Chicago or Schaumburg, right? And then they said like Taco Bell was Mexican food or something.
No, they took us to On the Border.
Oh, yeah.
And we're like, we're from Southern California. Why would you take us here? So they're like, oh, yeah, we thought maybe California and you just like Mexican food. I don't know. I'm like, no, take us
And that's
somewhere
a chain
where...
restaurant.
Yeah.
So it's not even like it's so funny.
I know.
It's,
I'm so
But then
snooty.
again-
Like, I was like frowning at it. Like, what?
well, my parents do that to you too. You go up
Oh,
to
yeah.
Hesperia and they take you to a Vietnamese restaurant. I'm just like, okay. All right, But I mean, it's and this is what we try to teach in HR. It's like assume positive intentions.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's what causes 90% of like the dust ups at work.
Yeah.
And probably in personal relationships as well. Assume, even if you get an email that reads weird because it's in black and white, you're
Mhm.
reading it, it's like, is that person snapping at me or whatever?
Yeah.
Assume positive intention.
Right.
If you assume positive intention, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So assuming
And
positive
tone matters to the person who's speaking.
right,
So
tone matters, but
tone-
if you assume positive intentions, even if you're getting a
Yeah,
bad
yeah, yeah.
tone,
Yeah.
that's actually what solved the Cuban Missile Crisis. A lot
Mm.
of people don't know this, but like they received Kennedy's administration received 2 letters from different branches of the government from Russia because they were trying to put nukes in Cuba,
Mm-hmm.
and Cuba's like really close, right?
Mhm.
And so, and this is actually, believe it or not, what has it's part of. They took a piece of this and incorporated it into Disney cast member training. That's why they're so good.
Mm.
And one letter was like a threat,
Mhm.
and one letter was more like, well, let's talk about this,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, well, where does Russia stand? Like one branch of the
Yeah.
government saying this, one branch of the government saying that, and the decision was, let's only respond to the positive one,
Mm-hmm.
and it solved it,
Mm.
and it avoided nuclear apocalypse for the planet. So
Yeah,
it's
we
actually
always-
a big deal.
Yeah, that is the main thing, right? Always assume positive intent.
Yeah. So a little history
Yes,
lesson.
they had good intentions. Like, oh, let's make you feel comfortable. You're here in
Schaumburg.
Schaumburg, and but anyways,
Yeah.
yeah. So we went to Tacos El Gordo, and it was so crazy there. So again, there was no parking, and I picked the location that was less popular. I didn't pick the location downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Picked the location in Chula Vista, which is not downtown. So I figured, oh, that's cool, suburban. Oh my goodness, we were there at 8. Tacos El Gordo usually is popping at midnight. It's when people get out of the
Yeah.
bars and the clubs.
Yeah.
But this is like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
It was still no parking, so I had to park on the street. And then the way Tacos El Gordo works is there's a
line for every
different
meat.
line for whatever taco you're ordering. So there's a beef line, al pastor line, and a French fries line.
Mm-hmm.
And we were getting all 3. We were getting all sorts of stuff. But
we had
the-
7 people all wanting
Yeah.
different things.
but the al pastor line is the longest line because everybody wants that.
Of
And
course,
how
I
do you
want
say it? I can never say the word.
what the
Ad-
adobada.
Adobada tacos.
Mhm.
And so we were ordering like 12 of those, right? So,
And of course, I didn't want guacamole on mine.
yes. And they put the creamy guacamole sauce on everything.
Yeah.
So it's like confusing.
So
and
I didn't get my carne asada tacos.
Yeah, I did order 2 carsai tacos. And I'm like, no sauce. And they didn't understand. And then they did one with sauce, one without, but then it was touching. So it's like, whatever. Anyways, yeah, so, but it's a really good taco place. If you ever make it to San Diego, you
Or
should
Vegas.
try it. Or Vegas.
Or
but
TJ.
but I don't think it's the same in Vegas. Like anything.
I'm
You
sure
think-
it's
you
pretty
think?
good. I'm sure it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Vegas does a
like-
pretty good job of building an imitation.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the same ownership, so
okay. But
same
you must get the
process.
Al Pastor one
yeah.
if you
Spicy
go
pork.
there. Don't be getting like vegetarian taco or anything. You know?
But the night before, we went to Lion's Share, which was pretty
Yes.
cool.
We went to this place and they're known for their exotic meats, I
Mhm.
guess. So we had like elk and bison and all this stuff
Boar.
and
yeah.
boar, but really Alex picked that place because the drinks were interesting.
Yeah.
So it had pretty good drinks. It looks like you're walking into like a speakeasy.
Yeah. But it's almost like a hunting lounge because it has
Yeah.
animals and stuff.
Yeah.
It looked like the Natural History Museum we went to the day after.
Yeah. It's like, this is what we ate.
I
So
know.
again, if you're vegetarian, don't go to Lion's Share. I mean, you could just drink, but
Mhm.
yeah.
You keep dropping the thing for your microphone.
Does that make me like
It's fine.
sound weird?
No,
Oh,
it's
okay.
good. Fine. So
But
yeah,
yeah.
that was a good time.
Yeah.
So we're very happy that our cousins Alex and Alex are moving to Boise. We'll have another place to visit. My cousin Jeff actually already lives out there. My aunt Donnie lives there. So lots of Boise people. Yeah,
Maybe Boise's good- like you said. Boise might be the new Austin.
yeah, I
Where
think
they're
it
gonna
is.
have a lot of California implants.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because people move to these places because it's like, I can't stand California, and then they turn it into California because all the same people are moving. You
Yeah.
know, it's like okay, you know, I'm sure California wasn't the way it is now in the '80s, and then but it's the people.
Does that
you
mean
know,
California will turn into like
yeah,
Texas?
yeah. Well, I think what's going to happen is that the population is going to drop, you know, and I've told you about the conspiracy theories. I won't go into them here. It's not Disney-esque, but but yes, you know, California can lose 10 million people and it's still going to be the same state, you know, pretty much, you know, politically, you know, diversity, socioeconomically. So
Oh, so it won't change.
it won't change, but it can change other states because we have a lot of people that we can spare.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Exactly.
so you put 10 million Californians in Idaho, Idaho ain't the same. We did it. Arizona is now a blue state because all the California,
Barely.
but it was solid red.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, because all elections are kind of decided on the margins
Yeah.
now. So you put, you know, 100,000 Californians in any particular state, which California can afford to lose, and that's I guess I kind of did just go into the conspiracy theory, but
Yeah.
that's what it is, you know. But I think it's kind of funny to think about. California is hugely populated in the cities.
Yeah.
Although we have a lot of space up in like San Bernardino, no one wants to go there. I was offended when they thought people you posted my Empire jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember
And
that guy
someone came up to us and asked
said,
if,
"Oh, you're talking about the Inland Empire? Is that what you're
yeah,
representing?"
because of the E and the I, the Imperial and the
Yeah.
Empire.
I was like,
and he thought
I
you
was-
were wearing
I was like,
an
how,
Inland Empire Letterman's jacket.
I'm like, how dare you?
No, he's like, is that Inland Empire? And you're like,
Mm.
no, it's Star Wars Empire. And he's like, oh, sorry.
I didn't say it like that. I just
Yeah?
said it was Star Wars. You're like, oh, yeah. Well, I'm at Disneyland. I'm
Okay,
like,
assume positive intent, but I think your tone was like, no, it's Star Wars Empire. If he wasn't assuming positive intent.
oh man, I was assuming positive intent. He was happy that I was representing Inland
The
Empire.
IE.
The IE. Sorry to disappoint. I'm representing Palpatine and the rule of the Sith.
Yes.
So- oh, okay. We do have a giveaway that's still ongoing that will be ending next week
Yes.
of the Soaring pouch.
Soaring pouch.
Yeah, and the Minnie Mouse Nuimos. Put the S on the end for you.
Yes.
Nuimos. And all you have to do is give us the answer to this question: which Disney character would you want to take to the parks? Pretty much. pretty simple question.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some really cool answers
Yep.
coming in. So very creative. And yeah, just direct message us that answer to, Rope Dropping Knowledge, Facebook or Instagram, or at info@ropedroppingknowledge.com. For every medium you use, you get an additional entry. So you could get 3 entries max.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you do, the more interactive you do, the more chance you have to win. Must be 18 years or older, live in the United States, and we'll be doing the drawing on the 26th.
Yep.
So good luck out there, but you only have a week left. And we do have some giveaways. We already know what we're giving away for the next 2 months afterwards, and I think they're pretty cool. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Yep. Just a hint, Dun-dun-dun. Ooh, is that how you make a noise?
What?
Ooh.
I'm trying to guess what this
Dun-dun-dun.
is.
I know everything goes over your head.
I don't even know what you're.
Everyone, the Mandalorian theme.
Oh. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh yeah, I should have hummed that part. Du-du-du-du-du-du. Mandalorian will be starting on March 1st,
March 1st.
which is not far away. So
Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is the watch
yes,
Alex gave me. Girl Alex. Alexandra.
yeah, we have
So
2
I have-
cousins named Alex, and they're married to each other.
Yes, Alex boy and Alex girl.
Well, technically, we have 3 cousins named Alex, but only 2 of them are married to each other.
Yeah. Which is confusing, but yes, so she gave me a Mickey watch, but it's a vintage one, and she told me the story that her first time at Disney World, she was 7, and I think she got sick on that trip.
Mm.
So then her parents bought her this watch, to make her feel
Yeah.
better. Like, okay, here's a toy or whatever. Here's a watch. So yeah, and we posted it, and it's really cool. It's vintage Mickey, and then it's still in the box with the Walt Disney
I
World
know.
box.
Yeah, it
So
was
we're
really
excited
touching.
about that.
It was a really cool gesture, and she knows
Yeah.
how much Disney means to us. So.
Yeah, so she's like, oh, we found it at home.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, she's very sweet, and thank you so much for that. And we will treasure it. No, that's not ever going to be a giveaway. It's
Nope,
part of the family
it's
collection.
ours.
It's ours.
It stays on the mantle.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for that. All right. So people, keep asking me. I don't, because they listen to the podcast and I was going off about the whole PTO thing and the pass thing,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just like, "Well, I don't understand what you mean. Like, how does that make a pass cheaper?" It's like, it doesn't make a pass cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying you have to consider PTO, paid time off,
Mm-hmm.
when you get a pass, and especially if you live in California. If you live somewhere else, you still kind of have to consider it because it's still money, right?
Mhm.
And so, just really quickly, I'll just go over it very briefly. I don't want to get into a whole thing again, but let's just say you're making $50,000 a year.
Mhm.
That's just a nice number, round
Mhm.
number I picked, right? So that means that, basically you earn approximately $24 an hour,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you buy a pass that doesn't cover weekends, doesn't
Mhm.
cover Saturdays,
Mm-hmm.
right? That means you have to use that pass during the week, like the SoCal pass,
Mhm.
right? So if you have to use that pass during a week, then you're spending in PTO hours
Mhm.
to take off work $192 a day.
Yes, because that's how much you're making a day.
Correct.
And so when you take PTO, you're really paying $190.
Yeah, $192 a day
Mhm.
on top of what you've already paid for the pass.
Right.
So if you went just 5 days out of the year, because you don't get any weekends with the SoCal pass,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Enchant Pass is a little better because you get some Saturdays, but you still are going to be going during the week sometimes, unless you're only going to, which is hard to do with the Enchant Pass, and they don't even sell the Enchant Pass anymore. Just 5 days is $961.
Yeah.
So that's almost, just that alone is almost the price of a Believe Key,
Yeah.
where you could go almost
On
any Saturdays.
Saturdays, yeah.
That's the pass we have.
Yeah.
So it actually it's actually more expensive than the Believe Key if you add the $400 you paid for the SoCal pass.
Right.
So
That makes sense.
because
People never consider time and labor as an expense
yes,
because they don't see it. And that's what you always tell my sister
yeah,
when she's making keychains and stuff like that.
Mhm.
As like you're like, how much does it cost you? And she's only giving you the cost. But then what
She's
about
giving you
your
the material
labor?
cost. Yeah.
Yeah. What about your labor? That's time. That's
Yeah.
money too.
That's why she's still broke. Like,
She
no, you
never
got to
considers her labor.
you have to price. If you're making
Yeah.
an item to sell, you have to take in your own labor cost
Yeah.
as part of that price that you're going to sell for.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So always remember to pay yourself. And actually, this goes for any business. And this is, you hear this from any type of financial advisor. You have to pay yourself.
Yeah.
There's so many people who, and I love people who have the entrepreneur spirit, even though entrepreneurs in general are usually annoying because
They're
you can't tell them
chaotic.
they're chaotic. They're very,
I can't stand it. Can't stand it.
they're very,
I have order.
because they're artists, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They're people who want to create and build their vision.
Yeah.
Like Walt was an entrepreneur,
Yes,
one of the
yeah.
best in history. But I guarantee you, he's probably not a pleasure to be around.
No, none of the people like
You know, Steve
Steve
Jobs, you know,
Walt.
Bill Gates came
Gates.
in the office. And I think he admitted to this story. He saw somebody who was clocking out at 5. He said, "Fire that guy." And it's like I have some of my best friends, like people I consider brothers,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and sisters that are entrepreneurs, and I have to sit them down because they get upset when people are like, "Why aren't they as
Trying to-
passionate
Yeah.
about this as me?" And it's like, and I have to explain to them, it's like, well, do you expect me to love your child as much as you? like seriously,
Yeah.
right? And if the answer is no, and this is, you know, quote unquote, you call your project your baby,
Mm-hmm.
then why would you expect somebody to work for you to love it or have as much passion for it as you do? And they don't, and you
They
really
don't
have to explain
understand.
that to them.
Yeah.
And then most of them get it.
The passion's fine, but I think the passion gets in the way of like process and order and
Well, that's why you have to hire good people.
project management. Like
Yeah.
you guys aren't good project managers. You're all over the place.
That's why Iger's such, and I revere Iger so much because it's not because of his success like financially or anything. It's because he gets it. He understands that, look, I could try to micromanage everybody or everything's going to be my way and I can just try to have this ironclad thing. You're actually you're squeezing the creativity out of Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Let people who are creative create.
Yeah.
I know that they know better than me. That's
Yeah.
really hard for a lot of business people, entrepreneurs or otherwise, to admit. It's like, you know what? In this area, they might know better than me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I'm hiring an engineer, obviously it's because I can't do engineering.
Yeah,
But a lot of people, you know, they still won't hire somebody and then want to micromanage them, and then that doesn't
Yeah,
work,
yeah.
You know,
So, because you're a business owner, you're creative, that's fine. But then you got to hire someone who's an accountant to do your finances, right? You
yeah.
can't just be like, oh, it's fine here. I'll just pay this,
Yeah,
pay that,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. So all of you entrepreneurs or soon to be entrepreneurs, pay yourself. And then all of you who aren't entrepreneurs, who are working for somebody else, working for a company who are getting PTO, remember that money is yours too, and it is real money.
Mm-hmm.
And so don't just get a pass based on the price of the pass. Get a pass based on what is the real cost.
Yeah.
What, you know, true value is what economists would say.
Yep.
Not accounting value.
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. That's it for that. What's next?
So I saw Frozen the musical. That was part of the Broadway series that came out as part of the 100 celebration. So Frozen is on tour now. They're in California now, Southern California.
Yep.
So it was really good. It stuck with the script of the movie, the original, with some comedic stuff in there. I think the star was Anna, of course. Like, she made the show. Because even in the movie, she was kind of like, the likable, quirky character.
Yeah.
So in the musical, the actress was really good, really funny, made some jokes,
Yep.
and stuff. It's diverse,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it was really good.
So when you were there and you experienced like the music,
Yeah.
like did it hit you the same way would hit you in the theater, or is it better?
It's better because they're singing it live, and then you know the song, and you're like, let it go, let it go.
Were other
You know,
people
that-
singing with it?
There were a lot of kids. It was the first musical I went to where I saw a lot of kids there, dressed up in their Frozen dresses.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
they even made the announcement. We're like, we'd like to welcome our first time Broadway, guests, and then we all like clapped for the little girls. But yeah, I thought they would be bored, but they weren't. They did sit through it because my
nice.
friend was like, "Oh,
And how old? Like, what are like some of the youngest?
I think like 6. I want to
Oh,
say
wow, that's pretty good.
6, and yeah, because my friend said her daughters would never be able to sit through this; they'd be so bored. But I think these kids are like real Frozen fans, how
Yeah.
they have the dress and everything. So they were able to sit through it, and then it wasn't that boring. It's a musical, so
Yeah.
they sang all the songs from the movie.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
moving around. They're doing everything
Yeah.
that's in the movie.
And then Olaf
Mhm.
was like, they were all like giggling and stuff when Olaf came out, and Sven the moose. Is his name Sven?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came out too, and he looked like a real moose. There was like a person in there.
Oh, like they had like a external costume, like they do
Yeah.
with the Lion King, kind of.
Yes, like the
Okay.
Lion King.
Okay.
So they were giggling when Sven came out. Sven didn't talk, of course, because he didn't talk in the movie. But Olaf talked, and Olaf was kind of like Coco at DCA, where there's a person.
Oh, you mean like the
and
little
then a
Miguel?
puppet. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Miguel.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
So that was cool. So yeah, it was really good. I liked it. I was entertained. I was actually the Frozen at DCA. I actually fell asleep. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know why.
Well, it's
that
because it's
one
only
wasn't as
like
good.
15 minutes, I think. It's like only a fraction of the thing, so I think I don't know.
Because weren't there some
They could-
songs in there that were like so boring? I don't know. All the songs here were like yay, but I don't know if it's because I was on like the third row and I was like right there. But the one at Disney, I don't know why I fell asleep. But then every other adult told me the Disney one was good. The one at Disneyland, I mean, or DCA.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
don't know. But
Anyways, so it was good. Highly recommended.
yeah, so you
When
had
they
fun.
come to your town.
Frozen.
Frozen, the musical.
And the costumes look pretty legit.
Yeah, the costumes were nice. Elsa's dress, when she sings "Let It Go,"
Mhm.
is was really cool. When she starts singing "Let It Go" and she takes off her, they transform.
Did they have any special? Did they have like snow falling and stuff, or was it not that
No.
quite?
The special effects were more like projections. It did look like something froze based on their projections, but they didn't have like snow or anything like that.
Well, it's still pretty cool.
But I think it was pretty good special effects.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a good production.
All right. What do we got next?
Well, we got Rebecca Campbell is the first of the high-profile Disney executives to leave following Iger's announcement of the major job cuts. So executives aren't immune. Part of the 7,000 is, includes executives. So Rebecca Campbell is one of the ones who.
Because she used to be over Disney, right?
She used to be president of Disneyland.
Yeah, Disneyland.
She's a 26-year Disney veteran. Most recently, though, she was chairman of International Content and Operations. So that's why she had to leave because of the reorg of that DME
Oh, yeah.
entertainment thing. So,
She probably had a pretty decent severance.
yeah, she probably got a decent severance.
She was cool because she's the one that let Mr. Cheesy Pop on Rise of the Resistance, remember?
Yeah, that's when she was president.
Yeah, she was pretty cool.
So,
So hopefully she lands
luck
somewhere
to her.
she likes to be, she wants to be.
yeah, maybe she can go over to Apple or something. I don't know.
They're not really hiring right now either.
And then something interesting that Carrie told us that last week we said that Disney Plus subscribers, like, would they lose like 2 million subscribers or something?
About something like that, yeah.
Or more? A ridiculous amount of
2
number.
point something, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was all due to their loss of the cricket. Cricket in India. Lost to the cricket contract in India. And it's none of the 2 million or so loss was any subscribers in the U.S. It was all because of that
Yeah.
India cricket contract.
So then it's still a loss, but then you know the reasons are going to be different,
Yeah.
and like what you're going to do to recover that's going to be different.
Yeah.
Right? It's not because of like the quality of content or anything.
Right.
It's more of a
It's
business
like an
reason.
audience that they lost, and
Mhm.
that's what made it
Mhm.
2 million or whatever.
Got it.
So,
All right.
yeah.
So yeah, Business Insider is kind of talking about how people are refusing to come back to the office because
Oh.
Iger said he wants people to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So employees at Walt Disney, they did a petition. I think it was like 2,300 workers in protest. They signed this petition saying it's one of the strictest attendance policies, in the corporate
Strictest?
world. Yeah, I think that's
That's
not the strictest because he wants them to come back into the office 4 days a week. The strictest would be all the time, right?
yeah, that's Google.
That would be
That's-
normal, right?
That's Google. That's the reason why our cousin left. Well, not the reason why, but
Yeah.
well, probably because if he was able to work from home and move to Boise, that's better, right?
No, he left Google pre-pandemic though. So
No, he was working from home during the pandemic, still at Google.
Then he went to Experian though. I thought
Yeah,
that was, but he
and
worked
then
there for a
after
year.
that, he had to come
Ah,
back, and then that's where he went to.
Yeah. Well, I think that I don't know.
mean,
It's
Amazon doesn't let you work from home.
it's weird. I don't know if it's weird. I'm just kind of wondering how it's going to shake out because there's a lot of stuff going on. Just cast members in general. You've got the
Mhm.
layoffs
Mm-hmm.
or cuts. We're still not sure which because,
Mhm.
like I said in the last episode, those are different things.
Mm-hmm.
We got a strike that could happen at Disney World.
Oh yeah, because they refused to take that offer.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And then now you have this. So a lot of labor issues, brewing for Disney. So this is going to be a big challenge for Iger because he's out of all the CEOs, he's probably the most cast member friendly,
Mm-hmm.
but he's still a CEO.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how he's going to navigate this. And it's weird because a lot of people are pulling back on that idea. So like in New York, they had a new mayor, Adams.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy. He's a former. I don't know if he's a former police chief, but he was definitely a former police officer. But he was elected. He's
Mhm.
he's the new mayor there. I mean, he's probably been there almost a year now. And when he first got into office, he basically said that he wants to see city employees he wanted all employees basically, but definitely because he has control over the city
Mm-hmm.
to start coming back to work in the office.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's walking that back.
Mm.
And the reason is, and he has actually a good, and a lot of mayors and
Mhm.
politicians have good reasons because what happens is that, and it gets complicated because you're dealing with two types of people. How we talked about entrepreneurs
Mhm.
before. So like small business owners, or who, like, let's say you started a restaurant in downtown,
Mm-hmm.
and then your restaurant got hit with the pandemic and you don't have customers because you are the government's forcing people to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
So you used to rely on the lunchtime crowd and all that, and now that's just gone. And now actually
Mm.
during the actual lockdown, you didn't have dinner
Yeah.
crowds or anything,
Yeah.
right? In the heat of it. So they want New York downtown areas to be revitalized, to get that money
Yeah.
back. And because he was saying, we're losing billions of dollars,
Right.
And then I was watching this a different take because on CNBC, and this was a different take than Wall Street Journal. And
Mhm.
it's funny how different news sources will spin things kind of different ways,
Mhm.
or not even just news sources, like even different authors,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because the Wall Street Journal was like, well, New York is losing billions of dollars because people won't come back to work.
Mm-hmm.
But then the way CNBC, at least the one columnist, she spun it was like, well, wait a minute. The people who are working are saving billions of dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have to spend gas to come into the office,
Mm-hmm.
and then this is in general. I know a lot of people in New York take the subways and stuff,
Yeah.
but you could apply this to any major city.
Right. Spend gas.
They're
You
saving money.
yeah.
They're saving money on clothing.
Yep.
Because I mean, if you
Yeah.
You're in sweats. You're not buying a bunch of business stuff.
Shower, water.
Well, not even that, but you're
Well-
not. But downtown, let's say you got to get lunch, and you have an
you're
hour to
saving
get
on
lunch,
Food. Yeah.
and you're going and you go to a restaurant, and you're buying an $18 salad.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's a savings too, and
Yeah.
that's so they said the average person who was coming to downtown New York is saving $4,000 a year.
Mm.
So when you say New York is losing money, like which New York are you talking about, right? Are you talking about the small business owners downtown, or are you talking about the people who are actually working? You see what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's a shame that sometimes in society those are pitted against each other. I don't think they should be pitted
Mhm.
against each other, but it is a different take.
Yeah, but then if you put more money into the worker,
Mm-hmm.
now they have more money to spend, but they're
Right.
not spending it on what you're saying is the small businesses who own like those little lunch counters and delis and stuff.
Yeah, but here's the other thing though: the businesses in suburban areas where the workers live
Hmm.
are actually seeing an increase
Yeah.
in revenue,
Right.
because now if you have a mom and pop store but it's in the suburbs, like on lunch they're gonna go walk to that cafe near their
Mhm.
house.
Mhm.
So who's to say? And my thing is, I look at it both ways, right? I have empathy for both,
Yeah.
because if I'm a small business owner who has a restaurant downtown, first of all, that's prime real estate.
Yeah.
It probably took loans and a lot
Mhm.
of doing to get that business up and running.
Hmm.
And again, it's kind of like don't hate the player, hate the game. Like you could say, like small business owners don't have a right to this money, and they don't.
Hmm.
You're not entitled to a profit,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, your business, you started this business because of a certain environment,
Yeah.
and that environment wasn't halted organically; it was halted artificially because the government said people have to stay home, right?
Right.
Now it was because of a pandemic, which you could
Right.
say is organic.
Yeah.
There's debates on that, but
It's not.
it-
There's
but it
the
wasn't-
need for it.
but it
decreased
wasn't-
now.
But there
Yeah.
wasn't. It was the government stepping into the economy, saying the economy needs to stop for a while,
Yeah.
and therefore that's why you're suffering. So it is a weird debate,
Yeah.
and I can see both sides of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people, because they were told to stay home, got used to it. All the KPIs saying their dish is productive, so it's kind of like, all right,
It's just changes
yeah.
in the environment, like you said, like landline telephone companies, right? It's now evolved to cell phones, and they went out of business. It's because it's just changed. Outside factor
Yeah.
changes. That's no longer the trend or
But
whatever.
if it was a big business that failed, that was like, I'll be like, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But if it's like somebody who it's kind of like they saved up, they finally got this spot downtown that they dreamed of doing for
Mhm.
like 20 years, and then the government comes in and says, well, nobody can come out. Like I can understand how that's devastating.
yeah, that is. Yeah.
I mean, we know small business owners, and it's like that's no fault of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They tried to enter into, because it's not like people were giving away businesses.
Right.
It takes money to start these businesses,
Mhm.
especially in prime real estate, like downtown Manhattan and these different areas. It's just like, that's pretty expensive. So, yeah, I feel it both ways. For Disney, but he's walking it back now in New York. We'll see if Iger walks it back, because Iger said that as soon as he came in.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if he walks it back, depending on the kind of pushback he gets from the cast members.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm thinking more of the hot dog stands in New York because they're known for their little hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
Not only hot dogs, but shawarma, all this stuff. Like for them, they can just push their cart somewhere else. I don't know. Can they? Like I don't know.
They have to go to the suburbs if the downtown is empty.
But then there's no suburbs aren't known for. You can't put a cart in the suburbs. That's just known for downtown, right?
You see all
But
the Disney
then,
carts.
in Orange County now, the taco stands
Mhm.
carts are all over the suburbs now.
Yeah.
Before
see?
they used to
'Cause they
only be
did.
at concerts.
I'm saying
so-
you can do it. Now, I don't know if you need
Well,
a theme park to
Westminster's
do that.
different, but I
Yeah,
don't know. Anyways,
interesting.
all right. What's next?
Toontown.
Toontown delayed their reopening to March 19th. I think originally it was supposed to be the beginning of March sometime.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's delayed to March 19th. They were saying the delays were due to all that rain, and so that it slowed down construction or something. But
Yeah.
who knows that's why. But yeah, but that's why. And then the other thing is Run Disney. The tickets were on sale on February 14th, I think, or not tickets, but registration.
Mhm.
But it's sold out now. So
Wow.
because everyone's excited to come back and run.
Yeah, because it's the first one, right?
First one since the whole beef
Mhm.
with Anaheim. So it's been gone for a few years now, even
Mm.
before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I guess, yes, it's coming back January, I think 14th of next year. So yeah, the registration. Well, because part of it is you need a year to train. So
Mm.
that's why you got to register now. And then part of the experience is you start training now for the
Mhm.
January thing.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
well, that's all for headlines.
All right. Well, now it's time for.
It's Taste Talk with Tracy. Mash some magic in your mouth.
All right. I wanted to finish up the Lunar New Year stuff. So there's two things. Of course, Lunar New Year ended February 15th, or at least the festival.
Mhm.
The real Lunar New Year was gone a long time ago. So the drink was the coconut lavender matcha iced coffee. So it's basically Joffrey's coffee with coconut milk, coconut cream, white chocolate sauce, garnished with lavender mocha, coconut foam, sea salt, and purple sanding sugar.
Yeah.
All that.
That was a lot.
It's basically a coffee with matcha flavor.
Yeah.
Matcha and coconut.
What'd you think?
I think this was the day I couldn't taste anything.
Oh, that's
So,
right.
Tastes like water. Just kidding.
I know. It tastes like water.
What did you think? Do you
Uh,
even remember?
yeah, I thought it was okay.
Because you like matcha with a shot
Yeah.
of espresso. So.
Yeah, I mean it was good. You
Mhm.
know, I think it was also it raining that day? I forget.
No, it was cold. It wasn't
Mm.
raining. Yeah.
I remember that it was. I remember it didn't blow me away,
Mm-hmm.
but it was good.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah.
Something different.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing we had was the Dalgona coffee bundt cake at the coffee cart. Or the
Now this
cappuccino
one,
cart.
like if you like coffee, you're gonna really like this.
Yeah, I tasted the bitter coffee from that
Mhm.
cake. So it's basically a
strong
coffee
coffee
cake
taste.
filled with Dalgona foam, which is strong.
And it's
Yeah.
thick. It's not like it's foam, but it's dense.
Yeah, it's like a cream.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it, but I mean, I'm not the biggest coffee fan, like
Yeah.
outside of like coffee tasting
Like
and
the
other
drink,
products.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you're a coffee level, you definitely need to try this one, because it's
I liked the Kahlua one better. Remember the Kahlua bundt
Yeah,
cake? That
mhm.
one was good.
that one's better, yeah.
Yeah, that one
To-
was
to me,
better.
though.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are like coffee fanatics out there who just love the taste.
Well, there's some coffee people, like Carrie's a coffee, drinker, but she doesn't like food that has coffee flavor.
Me either.
Yeah.
But it's not that I say I don't like it. I don't mind it. But it's like if I have my choice of ice cream, it's not going to be coffee. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Oh yeah, mine is. I like coffee.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So some people are like you, but then some people aren't. And
Yeah.
But if you are, this is for you.
Yeah.
So I don't want to give it like a negative. I mean, because it wasn't negative even for me. It was good. But I don't want to dissuade people from trying stuff like this just because that's not my thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
know what you
Because I know it is somebody's thing, and they'll go nuts over this because
Yeah.
it does have that strong coffee taste.
Yeah. But it's not here anymore. They have a different bundt cake right
Yeah,
now.
but
for-
it'll come back though because
Yeah.
this is.
It'll come back for the next
Mhm.
maybe Food and Wine Festival even.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, and definitely, they usually have something around Christmas, but I don't know if it's going to be the Kahlua one or not for the
Oh
holiday.
yeah. What did they have around Christmas? I forgot.
Maybe it was the pumpkin.
Oh yeah, it was. It was
It
the pumpkin.
was the
one.
pumpkin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the cakes at Joffrey's are
The
good.
normal Kahlua one is good.
Yeah.
I think they might have a special one for the Disney 100.
Mm.
So
Platinum. Like a platinum
it's
cream.
usually lemon something. So I don't know.
They
I
put
don't
real
like
platinum
lemon.
in it.
It is. It does have those platinum balls,
Mm.
like candy things. Anyways.
Yeah, but I would definitely recommend it, when it comes back for those coffee lovers out there.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I don't know if you all saw, but the hologram of Walt Disney was released by D23. And it was kind of freaky. Like
It was
weird.
freaky.
It's weird to see someone who's like even that whole remember in
The
Star
Tupac.
That's weird. No, when they had the one dude who passed away in Star Wars, the sequels, and then they had him in the movie,
Oh.
the old Empire guy. I forgot his name.
Mm,
He was in one of the Star Wars
okay.
sequels. Anyways, so it was kind of weird because he's not here anymore, but then he's talking like it was today. But anyways, a lot of people thought it cool. It was cool. A lot of people thought it was weird. So it's mixed feelings about it. But it was made.
Are you talking about General Tarkin?
Yes.
Oh, he was in Rogue One.
Oh, he wasn't.
Yeah,
in any
he
of the
wasn't in the Star
sequels?
Wars sequels.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Mm-mm.
Yes, that General Tarkin.
And they did something, a little bit with like Carrie Fisher, a little bit,
Yeah, for that I think
because she was in
they-
Rogue One too, at the end.
Yes,
And-
but she was still alive in Rogue One.
Yeah, they just kind of, I think they used her daughter a little
Yeah,
bit, and
if-
then in the Rise of Skywalker,
Yeah,
they did some things.
they
and-
did. They used like other scenes and just redid it. Her
Yeah,
thing.
and they used her
but-
daughter again too. So.
Yeah. So things like that, I'm like, but anyways, but Carrie Fisher because it's new.
hmm
With General Tarkin and Walt, it was like they passed away a long time ago. Now you're reviving them. I don't know. It's
I
kind
think
of
it's weirder if the death
strange.
is recent.
think.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody brought back like Abe Lincoln, I'd be like, okay, you know,
That's what they compared it to. They're like,
Mm.
oh, okay, that's how
like a
Disney.
historical figure.
That's how Disney
yeah.
does it. They bring back Abe Lincoln. They bring back Walt.
Yeah, I mean, they have
But-
animatronics and stuff.
Yeah.
So
But this was actually for the D1. It's called the D100, the exhibition,
mm,
which will premiere on February 18th at the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia.
mm.
So it's basically Walt talking to us about, creativity, imagination, magic, things like that.
Mm.
I didn't see the whole thing, but
There is
Mm.
going to be a bigger debate right now in the Twitter sphere, not the Twitter sphere, the Twitch sphere.
mhm.
I mean, I'm not going to get into it because it's not really PG, but there's this debate on deepfakes, right?
Oh, yeah.
and then about how some female streamers have deepfakes put on adult content, and the whole thing was basically, another male Twitch streamer was on live and they saw him watching it, not watching it, but
yeah,
he had
yeah,
the
yeah.
tabs up,
Yeah.
That was the debate. But then I think there's also like a social and legal debate to be had of, obviously this is legal, the thing they did with Walt,
Mhm.
but then a social debate of like, okay, if you can really make anybody, like who owns the likeness? Is this a good thing? I mean, I could technically have the president, I could do a State of the Union
Yeah.
with a fake State of the Union with the president saying whatever, like we're going to attack China,
Right.
right? Who's
Or
going to
you could
believe
even
that?
do like a thing where you met the president and then there he is or whatever. It's like
Mhm.
a lot of people do it for Tom Cruise and
Like
Keanu
right now, it's
Reeves.
funny and they're
Mhm.
using it mostly for entertainment. But then there are situations where, hey,
you could put
I
your
could say that you robbed a bank, you stole something.
Yeah.
Like if people,
or for divorce proceedings if you want the
yeah,
prenup, you put your husband's face next to another woman and
yeah.
oh, he did cheat on me. I get the money now or something. I don't know.
It's going to be weird. And even stuff that's not really that serious, it may not have legal implications because you could probably prove that through circumstantial evidence or whatever. But
Yeah.
just stuff to where you don't want your face on something.
Yeah.
How many
yeah.
people are, I remember my friend AJ, and this was years ago when he has two little girls when they were really young and he first took them to Disney. And this has always been kind of a debate, right? Like, do you have the right to photograph people at Disney? But it's kind of like, yeah, it's the most photographed place on earth, right?
Right.
But he had a situation where his kids were with the character, and there was this, and this is what you know what I was talking about last episode about the creepy single guy being at Disney.
Yeah.
There was this guy
Uh-huh.
who just kept taking pictures of his two daughters,
Ew.
kneeling down and taking pictures.
What the heck?
And he was like, "Hey, do you mind not taking pictures of my daughters?" And they were only like 5 and 6 at the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's like, "I have a right to do this. It's Disney. I can do that." So you see, and that's like not even like hologram stuff. Now imagine today he could take those pictures and do whatever he wants
Yeah,
with them,
put it
animate
somewhere.
them,
Yeah,
do whatever. And so it's technically legal because they're in a public space,
Right.
and Disney's pretty much saying you can photograph
Yeah.
anything you want. But should it be? But if you make it illegal, are you now infringing on rights
Yeah.
that will affect other areas of your life?
Well, like
you know?
paparazzi photos,
Mhm.
like with celebrities, like
'Cause-
Kim Kardashian, for example, if they take a picture of her,
Mhm.
it's theirs.
But-
And then she tried to use that picture of herself and post it.
And they could
and
sue.
they sued her.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's my picture of you.
Yeah. And also, I don't think public figures have as many rights. But
Oh, okay.
but someone's kids they're not public
Yeah,
figures.
yeah.
He's not even he was a radio guy, but his kids aren't. You know what I mean? And he's about to fight this guy in Disney, and he would have been the one to get kicked out.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Well, couldn't he go to a cast member and say, hey, security, and say, hey, this guy keeps taking pictures of my daughters?
Well, the guy just left. I think he was, and then the guy just left. But then he'd probably already taken
That's
like
creepy.
12
Why
pictures.
Would you do?
But that's my point. And then you're like, well, why don't you just go to the park by yourself as a single? Cause I know that there are weirdos out there, man. I don't want to be
but
looked
you're
at
not
like this.
taking pictures of like.
I don't care, dude.
You don't want to be like that. You don't want to be that guy.
I don't even want to be looked at that way. I'm not saying that. I mean, that could be my own paranoia because of my career history, and I just know I've seen the darkness. You know what I mean? What's out there, but it's just a weird state. And now with technology, it's going to get weirder and weirder. It's not going to get less weird. We got AI now that can do anything.
Yeah, and
almost.
you have that calm demeanor where it is weird. Like if Provost was walking by himself, it's not weird because he's so hyper and giddy.
Yeah.
It's not weird. But
Mhm.
if you were walking down Main Street by yourself, I think it is weird.
Yeah, see? You're my wife. So
But you could you could be
if I have to
going
do
to the
anything,
bathroom and meeting with me later. Like that could be the
nah,
reason.
I mean, I'm not saying it's an issue. I'm just saying I wouldn't make an effort to go to the park by myself. That's all, But yeah, it was. Yeah, it's gonna get more and more weird as now AI advances. Video and audio stuff
Yeah.
advances to where you can do anything. You can create your own fantasy world with anybody's image that you want. It's
Yeah.
going to be strange, and how we're going to address that as a society is going to be strange. And I think if they think that Walt coming back as a hologram is weird, he's like a public figure.
Yeah.
He was,
Yeah.
obviously one of the biggest in the world. And if they think that's weird, just wait.
Yeah.
It's not going to get cleaner. I can tell you
right,
that.
Right. That makes sense.
No.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, yeah. So remember a few weeks ago, I mentioned that the Mint Julep Bar and the French Market will close on February 17th. And then you and I are like, oh, what's Disney going to be like without beignets, without Mickey beignets? Well, looks like the Royal Street Veranda is selling beignets beginning, is it today? February 17th. Oh,
That's yesterday.
no,
Mhm.
today's the 19th.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Friday.
Friday.
So
Mhm.
yes, instead, while the Mint Julep Bar is closed, Royal Street Veranda will be selling Mickey beignets and mint juleps
Told you.
until Mint Julep
There has to
Bar
be a Stark and Winterfell.
opens. Yes.
They have to be
That's
beignets at
the
Disney.
beignets at Disney. So that is cool. So I don't know if I'll get it at any time soon because we never get beignets because again we avoid crowds, which is why we don't have Tacos El Gordo. We don't do the in thing
Sometimes.
unless we can pay our way up front.
I know. We're lazy.
I mean, I was tempted to just give the security guard $20 to let me go stand in the line at a time because there was a security guard, like
Mm.
directing
at
traffic.
Tacos El Gordo.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. I don't know why, and it'll come maybe once a year. I just want one of those mint juleps. I don't know why, because I usually
it's
don't.
when they have that special boysenberry one.
That's a good
probably.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes even a regular one. I don't know.
Yeah, it's refreshing. Yeah, on a hot day.
But it'll be like once a year. Like I don't think about it the entire year, and then it's once a year. I'm just like, you know what? I really want one of those. So.
But then you get a real one at Jazz Kitchen.
But it's not like refreshing like that. This one
Yeah,
like a
it's
true.
true.
Cool.
Yeah,
drink,
right at
a
Disney,
slushy.
and you can just,
That one's like an alcoholic real mint julep. It's
yeah.
like okay, it's cool.
So it looks like Genie Plus sold out today
Mhm.
at Disney World for the first time, and it was
Yeah.
up to $29.
Yeah,
So today, like Sunday?
yeah.
Oh yeah, because tomorrow's President's Day. I
Mhm.
forgot because we don't get it off.
So I know. Yeah, that was a little surprising because I didn't think it would ever get to the point where it was sold out, but
Yeah,
yeah, it did. So
at Disney World. But which park do you know?
I don't know. I don't know if it was for all parks or just one park. I don't know.
Yeah, because I thought it was for each.
Every time I say something about Genie Plus there, Carrie corrects me. So I'm just like,
Well, she's
like
there, I think.
I know
but-
she's there right now. I think,
But she's
But
at
it-
Epcot, so I don't know which park
yeah.
sold out at. But anyways, but that is for it to be even sold out at all is interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I can see it at Disneyland because it's smaller and both parks are condensed.
Because I thought you had to like rope drop to get certain things. You're like, oh no, people can do it. Before.
Yeah, before.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, I don't know a whole lot about how Disney World operates, but the fact that it's sold out is crazy because it's just so. I mean, the parks are so big.
Yeah.
And it's just like they can accommodate so many people. So I'm like, I don't know if it's just a matter of.
Because it's
Like
hard
I don't know
to,
what number they limit it to for it to sell out.
and
so
it's hard
they
to
have to have an
park hop
algorithm.
there, right? So of course, if you get Genie Plus, it's just for the one park because it's too far apart to park hop. So I'm thinking it's Hollywood Studios
I don't
because
know.
that's the one with the most rides that people want to do, like Rise. Well, that's Lightning Lane, like the Slinky Dog and the whatever.
Yeah, I'm looking and it's not saying park. It just says it's sold out.
Hmm.
So it doesn't say for any particular park. So I'm assuming the entire, Walt Disney World. Oh, you know what? So the example that I'm seeing is Magic Kingdom,
Oh,
but then, we'll see.
well, yeah.
Yeah,
the
we'll-
fact
we'll
that
do an
anything is
update
sold
on
out
it.
there is interesting.
I know that's weird, especially Magic Kingdom because it's not all the cool rides aren't there.
Yeah, it's like the classic stuff. Like
Yeah.
the Fantasyland stuff.
Yeah,
Well, the Mine Train. That's the only thing I can think of.
yeah,
Space
but you would think
Mountain?
it would sell out in Hollywood Studios, like you said.
Yeah, because they have Slinky Dog,
They
Toy
have all
Story
the
Mania,
stuff.
and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right. Well, that's it for us this week. Remember our giveaway that ends on this coming Saturday. We'll be at the park, so we'll actually do the drawing when we get home
Mm-hmm.
that Sunday. But yeah, you have until 11:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, February 25th, and we'll be back at Paradise Pier. So
Yes, it happens to be some cheerleading or dance thing at the convention center.
I
So
know.
all the hotels around there are super.
So again,
pricey.
Disney on property is cheaper than the
The
surrounding
Marriott,
hotels.
yeah, this at least for this coming weekend.
Yeah. And then we do have a new in-park giveaway. So I'll be posting that. And we were going to talk about Ant-Man. We decided that, you know what? We did see it on Thursday night.
Mhm.
Even though we reward people for staying for the spoilers, we are going to at least give people a week or so to see it. So we do already have a spoiler prize to give away, but we will not do it today. So I think that's it. I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and visit us at www.ropedroppingknowledge.com.